Letting go of the past. Yeah, that classic line that we hear within the personal growth, spiritual development, community, and it can sometimes be simple, convoluted, ambiguous, and it can end up being lost in what does that actually mean. And I'm really fascinated with the journey of our physiology and our nervous system and what is actually going on with inside us that creates that story. And you can find that within the depth of our nervous system and how our body responds to life and has responded to life all up to where we are right now in this now moment. And it's like we're in this now moment, but it's what's been imprinted within our nervous system when it comes to physiological processes. We could use the example of the fight or flight mechanism, which fires off when it is triggered with unconscious memory deep from within us. And we have this autonomy that's within us as well, these autonomous functions that are just firing off within us. Our brain is really, really complex and it categorizes memory in a really specific way. Try not to go too deep in this. I'm trying to make it as clear as possible for you to understand. But when we go through certain processes of, let's say, we could say trauma, big or micro traumas, if we don't have the fulfillment of a threat, then do a full loop to coming back to safety with our nervous system, we don't fulfill a certain loop and process, it remains unprocessed within our emotional memory bank and within our brain. And I'm using the word brain, but memory is actually, we're discovering more and more that memory is actually got nothing to do with the brain. Memory is actually a separate faculty which could be put in the same category as consciousness and energy fields and energy patterns that we are experiencing in this now moment. And a good example of this, we could look at nature. When a gazelle gets away from a lion or a tiger, what it does when it gets into safety, it shakes and resets its nervous system and in turn resetting the whole memory of the event, as in it categorizes the process, it's compartmentalized, done, and it's like almost like ticked off within the gazelle. See, what happens with us is, because we're so complex, we have something which is the prefrontal cortex, which is the like the computer analytical system of the brain, and we predominantly go left brain when it comes to our processing of these traumas when we go more so into adulthood. But when we are in our infant stage, if we don't have the maternal connection with our caregivers, that's something else which disrupts our memory being processed. So memory is really important in this game, and we have something called implicit memory, which is a memory of what didn't happen. That's really, really important. A memory of what didn't happen. We remember when we didn't receive the love and connection that we needed at specific moments of time. And this can be beyond numerical, beyond numbers of how many times this could happen. But we have these categorized, unprocessed, registered things within our body and physiological makeup and our energy makeup and our quantum makeup, to take it a little bit deeper, which then collide with us in the here and now. And we could be somewhere in a safe environment, but we have something going on within us which is all intertwined with how we are perceiving what's safe and what's threat. And we could have something where in actuality and truth we're somewhere safe, but within us there is a certain level of perception which is triggering off a feeling of unsafety, which then creates the fight or flight. And it's through this process where the past keeps meeting us with our physiology in the here and now. And this is why I love breathwork so much, because it helps us profoundly influence and recalibrate these unfinished, uncalibrated parts of ourselves that are buried deep within the unconscious. We could use the word unconscious here. Unconscious patterns which are all playing out due to the emotional turbulence that we've occurred during life. And we could use the word trauma, but trauma can sometimes, it can separate it and make it really, really big. And some people go through their whole life and not really experience a big trauma, but the micro traumas build up. And we're talking about right from the start, right from the get-go, right from being in our mother's womb and then going through the birth canal, or maybe not, if depending on how your birth unfolds or did unfold. And we have all of this right now in the here and now meeting us. And it's so profound. It's a whole layer of skin that needs to be shed. It's a whole new state of recalibration and alignment that we need to shift into. And we've got to remember about identity as well. All of what I'm saying here with these unresolved physiological processes is unconscious memory meeting us in space and time, triggering off these physiological processes. It all shapes our identity. And when we talk about predominantly being from, let's say, for example, the fight or flight mechanism, we are buried deep in the survival paradigm. And it's within that survival paradigm which completely builds this self-created cage that we ourselves have created, and we ourselves, we live in this now moment, which keeps us very narrow-minded to where we are and very limited to the potentiality and possibility of our life. And usually what it takes for us to really start to recognize that this is going on within us, all of these physiological responses that are going off automatically from the unconscious almost guide us to a deep state of really drastic, crazy, don't use the word crazy, but down, like damn, some kind of pain. Whether it's physical, mental, emotional, these all lead us to such a breakdown within our nervous system that we experience some kind of pain. And this could be within our energy, within our physical, with our mental, but it could be something that's going on, this energy field that's created from all of this. Things could be happening in the external world as well, which are like almost breaking down, that need to be broken down to get us to the point where we address what's going on within us. We need sometimes a cataclysmic shift to shake this identity that's been created from our past, because up to that point we just think this is us, this is our identity, so we don't think of anything else. We don't know anything about the grass is greener on the other side. We don't know another way of being within this life, because we're so used to and familiar with the identity that we have created from our past. Really, 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 really powerful. Identity is such a big one here. Identity, familiarity, the known, the familiar. And you know what it's like, when we create an identity that's uncomfortable, but it's familiar. And weirdly, our nervous system and ourselves can get almost a sense of safety from that. We've got to look into the real the darker elements of being human here. We've got to feel into this. I'm sure you can resonate with this. This might even trigger a little bit within you hearing this, depending on where you are in the change, transformation journey. We're talking about a complete identity shift and transformation. And it's through those physiological processes which guide us to a certain amount of suffering, which then propel us forward into change, to shed the layer and to do the work that's necessary to create and step into our new identity, which isn't governed by our past. We let go of the past, and letting go of the past is profoundly changing what's going on within us physiologically, deeply within our nervous system. Roy talking about on a quantum level change. And it's from that, the more we start to realign what's going on within us, we start to actually realign and come into a deeper sense of alignment. So it's from that subtle nuance shift occurs. Instead of being almost like pushed forward by our past, we then change completely, and our alignment starts becoming more, our inner alignment starts to become aligned into our future self of what we want to start growing into, the person we're going to be when we've shed that layer. We meet that person now by aligning the physiological makeup with that person. So it's not polarity, I'm here, they're there. We merge everything in the now due to the profound shift and alignment that occurs within your nervous system. This is where breath work is king for this. Neuroscience, on the fringes of science at the minute, we are being shown just how profound breath work has on our entire being, our mental, physical, emotional, spiritual health and spiritual alignment. The creation of a new identity, this is it, my friends. This is it right here. It is all found within you. And it's from this deep inner alignment that you'll naturally start to reflect a new world. That caged perception that was created from those survival physiological processes will now be resolved, which means you expand your vision and of what's possible for your life. It's extremely exciting. We go from being fearful, we go from fear to love, and then fear to excitement as well. Fear turns into excitement. We start to get excited about the potentiality of our life, which is a phenomenal transition to make. The unknown becomes more known because it feels safer to be able to step into the unknown. The unknown doesn't have like a daunting quality of not wanting to go there. It comes with an excitement of like, what is in there? Really kind of subtle nuances I'm sharing here and breaking down for you in this video. So feel where you are in the time of change. Feel the discomfort that you may be experiencing now. Just feel into where you are right now. Feel into your identity of where you are right now. The fabric of who and what you are right now. And feel into what is going to be in alignment, feels more of alignment with where you want to go. The beautiful now moment is where it all happens, my friends. So feel into it, take a breath, observe, contemplate, feel, and then transition into maybe just kind of plucking into a little bit of excitement of the potentiality of your life. Thank you for being here, listening in this video. I'm so excited for you to be here. Drop a comment if any of this resonates with you. I'd love to hear from you. Share with the community that's going to be birthing in this channel. Sending you so much love, my friends, and I'll see you in the next video.